Welcome back to Superstructures, where we explore fascinating stories and provide valuable insights for our viewers. Today we have an exciting topic to discuss: the cost of living in New Zealand in 2023. If you've ever wondered about moving or visiting this beautiful country, this video is for you. So, let's dive right in. Living in New Zealand can be great with its safety, beauty, and friendly people. However, it's important to know that the cost of living there is quite high. Before moving, it's a good idea to make a budget and see if you can afford a comfortable life in the country. New Zealand has a population of 5 million people. Moving to a small country like this has its drawbacks. The job market is smaller, making it harder for some people to find work. Additionally, wages in New Zealand are generally lower compared to many other Western countries. However, most people who want to move to New Zealand are attracted to its lifestyle. The country is incredibly safe, with low crime and corruption rates. It has a progressive history, being the first to grant women the right to vote. Moreover, New Zealand offers an excellent quality of life for families. It prioritizes work-life balance, providing mandatory 4 weeks of annual leave, extra sick days, 1 year of maternity leave per child, free healthcare, and a high minimum wage. The country has various social programs in place to take care of its citizens. In comparison to other Western countries, salaries in New Zealand are often lower. However, it is important to note that New Zealand is a society with less extreme poverty and wealth inequality. The median income in the country is approximately 27 New Zealand dollars per hour, which translates to an annual salary of 56,116 New Zealand dollars for a 40-hour work week. Salaries vary depending on the region and industry. Major cities like Auckland and Wellington tend to offer higher wages to compensate for the higher cost of living. If you are considering moving to New Zealand, pursuing higher education such as bachelor's degree can significantly increase your earning potential, allowing you to earn up to 40% more than the average income. The minimum wage in New Zealand is 20 New Zealand dollars per hour. According to data from the job-seeking website Seek, architects in the information and communication technology sector are offered the highest salary in the country, with an average annual salary of 143,074 New Zealand dollars. In New Zealand, the tax system operates on a simple tiered structure. This means that the amount of tax you pay on your salary or income depends on your earnings. As an employee, your employer will handle the tax deductions on your behalf. It is advisable to calculate your post-tax income to determine if it aligns with your financial goals and allows you to afford the lifestyle you desire in New Zealand. When considering the cost of living in New Zealand, it's important to allocate a substantial portion of your monthly budget towards accommodation. The housing market in New Zealand experienced a significant surge in 2020 and 2021. The average property value throughout the country is currently 7.9 times the average annual household income, reaching an all-time high. Over the years, house prices in New Zealand have been steadily increasing due to limited supply. Rent in New Zealand is typically collected on a weekly basis, and the specific amount will vary depending on the city or town you reside in. You can use a helpful calculator on a tenancy website to determine the average rental price in the particular city or town you are planning to move to. Amongst New Zealand cities, Auckland stands out as the largest and most expensive. While it offers some of the highest paying job opportunities and a thriving job market, it also comes with a higher cost of living in terms of rent, purchasing property, and dining out. According to the comparison website Glimp, to live alone in Auckland comfortably, a monthly income of at least 4,379 New Zealand dollars is recommended, while a family would need around 7,984 New Zealand dollars per month. Rent and mortgage payments in Auckland can be quite steep. For living alone, expect to pay approximately 2,414 New Zealand dollars per month, or 3,600 New Zealand dollars for a 3-bedroom flat. The average house price in Auckland is 1.25 million New Zealand dollars. It's worth noting that unless you reside in the central city or its nearby suburbs, Auckland is not particularly walkable or well served by public transport. Living in the suburbs may help save on rent, but it might be necessary to consider purchasing a car for easier mobility throughout the wider city. New Zealand's capital city, Wellington, has the highest rental prices in the country but is relatively more affordable than Auckland in terms of groceries and other living expenses. According to the 2021 Trade Me Rental Price Index, the median weekly rent in Wellington is 615 New Zealand dollars, and the average house price is 1.1 million New Zealand dollars. Generally, two-bedroom properties in Wellington rent for around 450 New Zealand dollars to 620 New Zealand dollars per week, while three-bedroom properties range from 630 to 790 New Zealand dollars per week. One advantage of living in Wellington is its extensive public transport system, which includes buses, trains, and ferries servicing the inner city, Kapiti Coast, and Hutt Valley regions. Unlike Auckland, owning a car in Wellington is not necessary for most residents. To meet the minimum cost of living in Wellington, a single person should earn at least 3,843 New Zealand dollars per month, while a family of 4 should collectively make at least 6,890 New Zealand dollars per month as a household. Christchurch, the largest city in New Zealand's South Island, has made significant strides in its recovery following the devastating earthquake in 2011. As a major business hub, it boasts a growing economy, and the city's reconstruction efforts have contributed to more stable house prices and rents. Compared to other large cities in New Zealand, Christchurch is considered the most affordable to live in. While the cost of living is still higher than in smaller towns, housing options and rentals in Christchurch are notably more affordable than even smaller cities like Gisborne, Napier, or Tauranga. For a single person living in Christchurch, a monthly income of approximately 2,696 New Zealand dollars is necessary to cover rent, food, and bills. A family of 4 should aim for a minimum monthly income of 5,820 New Zealand dollars to maintain a comfortable lifestyle in the city. In 2021, the average rental price in Christchurch was 435 New Zealand dollars. Despite being a small town, Queenstown is renowned for its high housing prices, making it one of the most expensive places to live in New Zealand. Over the past 3 decades, Queenstown has transformed from a modest village into a destination known for its luxurious accommodations and adrenaline-fueled activities. The town's geographic location and popularity among tourists and wealthy investors have led to a housing shortage, further driving up prices for goods, food, and services. Data released in November 2021 by the property website realestate.co.nz revealed that house prices in central Otago and the Queenstown Lakes district had surged by 41.9%, averaging around 1.4 million New Zealand dollars. The average weekly rent in Queenstown stands at 600 New Zealand dollars. To comfortably live in Queenstown, a single person should budget at least 3,600 New Zealand dollars per month, while a family of 4 would need a minimum income of 6,800 New Zealand dollars per month. These figures are similar to the cost of living in larger cities like Wellington, as the expenses for groceries, dining out, and entertainment in Queenstown are exceptionally high. As a result, many people opt to reside in smaller towns outside of Queenstown and commute into the town for work or leisure activities. Due to its isolated location, travel costs in New Zealand can be relatively high. The country is served by 2 major airlines, resulting in limited competition. Flights to, from, and within New Zealand can vary in price. The cost of one-way flights between major cities can range from as low as 50 New Zealand dollars during off-peak times to as high as 299 New Zealand dollars during busier seasons. It is advisable to book your flights in advance to secure more affordable fares and avoid overpaying for your travel arrangements. When considering the cost of living in New Zealand, it is important to account for the purchase of a car. Public transportation outside major city centers may not be extensive, and there are numerous attractions and activities to explore beyond the cities. It is worth noting that fuel prices in New Zealand are relatively higher, so it is necessary to include petrol costs in your overall cost of living. On average, the price of a liter of petrol in New Zealand is 2.610 New Zealand dollars. As reported by the spin-off, New Zealand is recognized as one of the most expensive countries for purchasing groceries. In 2021, the Commerce Commission ranked New Zealand's grocery prices as the 6th highest among 38 countries. On average, you can expect to spend at least 17 New Zealand dollars per week on groceries for a single person. When comparing prices, groceries in the UK are approximately 1/3 cheaper. In Belgium, they are 29% cheaper, and in the US, they cost about 28% less. Only Iceland, Norway, South Korea, Switzerland, and Japan were identified as countries with higher grocery costs than New Zealand. In New Zealand, you can find a variety of fast fashion retailers similar to those found overseas. On average, prices for tops range around 50 New Zealand dollars. Sweatshirts and knits cost approximately 120 New Zealand dollars. Shoes can be priced at 150 New Zealand dollars. And jeans from mid-price retailers are around 130 New Zealand dollars. One notable aspect for those moving to New Zealand is that many retailers on platforms like Amazon and eBay do not offer shipping to the country. Additionally, next-day delivery services are not very common. Therefore, you should anticipate the need to shop online and expect a wait of about a week for your purchases to arrive. Alternatively, you can visit larger stores in person for a more immediate shopping experience. Moving to New Zealand can be a costly endeavor, but many individuals who make the leap discover a shift in their mindset. They find themselves embracing a lifestyle with fewer material possessions and prioritizing the purchase of high-quality goods over cheaper alternatives. This change in perspective often leads to a greater sense of contentment and happiness. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of moving to New Zealand and the insights into finding happiness through simplicity. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content about amazing stories from around the world, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Superstructures. We appreciate your support and look forward to sharing more captivating content with you. Until next time!